The theory of evolution was built upon several key laws. The first is the law of survival of the fittest, or the struggle for survival. This law suggests that when individuals compete with nature for life, a natural selection occurs, leading to the survival of those best adapted to their environment. This doesn't necessarily mean the strongest or fastest, but those with the most beneficial traits for survival in their specific environment. Next is the law of use and disuse, which suggests that traits or characteristics that are used frequently become stronger and more prominent, while those that are not used become weaker and may eventually disappear. Finally, we have the law of inheritance of acquired traits. This law suggests that traits or characteristics that an organism acquires during its lifetime can be passed on to its offspring. These laws, proposed by Charles Darwin, were based on the idea that all organisms came from a common origin, beginning with a primitive cell in a warm pond. This cell, he suggested, arose from the interaction of light and heat. Over time, these primitive organisms underwent changes, with nature selecting the beneficial changes and discarding the harmful ones. This process, he proposed, led to the evolution of new species. However, these hypotheses have been challenged and refuted over time. The notion of spontaneous generation of living organisms from inanimate objects was debunked by experiments such as those of Francesco Redi and Louis Pasteur. They proved that organisms thought to originate from food leftovers actually came from outside the food system, carried by polluted air. The idea that changes produced new traits was also refuted, notably by biologist Gregor Mendel. He demonstrated that new traits, no matter how they change, will not go beyond the traits originally present in the parent organisms. Lastly, the law of inheritance of acquired traits was disproved by August Weismann. Despite cutting off the tails of 19 generations of mice, each new generation was still born with a tail, showing that acquired traits cannot be passed on to offspring. So